Welcome back to the Becoming Her Success and Self-Growth podcast. For those who are tired of starting over, ready to raise their standards, and determined to build the health, confidence, and mindset that lead to lasting success. Today's episode is a health-based episode called The Power of Habit. I guess really this could also attribute to business. It is really just about habit formation. And I really want to talk about an analogy that I use a lot in my training and have been using since the very beginning. I don't even know where I first heard this analogy, but I have since heard many coaches use it. And it's that you want to get your habit of your health and fitness in your routine to the point that it is so like thoughtless and automatic as brushing your teeth. And I have two kids, right? So before becoming a mom, something I didn't realize is how hard it is to brush a toddler's teeth. It is not easy in any way. And, you know, all I used to say when I would bring this up, like before having kids, is that, if you do it enough times, it will be automatic. It will be like brushing your teeth. But I didn't think as much about the creating the habit part because obviously it is harder to create new habits as an adult. A lot of people don't like change. A lot of people are stuck in their ways. And if health and fitness isn't something that was normalized to you growing up, or if you like watched a parent be like very off and on with their fitness routine, then you're more likely to be off and on with your fitness routine. Because we learn these habits easier at a young age. That being said, it is still not that easy to instill habits in children. Like I have a 3.5, almost 4 year old, and I have a 14-month-old whose teeth we have been brushing. He actually likes getting his teeth brushed, which I don't know many kids who do. My 4 year old, almost 4 year old, still a struggle sometimes. But even still, we're not at the point where she thinks to brush her teeth every day. I mean, sometimes she remembers, but it is not like a permanent habit yet. Um, and eventually, and she also, sorry, before I get into the next part, she also was a kid who did not want to brush her teeth. She was a very difficult kid to brush her teeth. I would often sit her on the counter. She'd be trying to play with the light switch. She'd be turning her head. She'd be trying to look in the mirror. Anything but brushing her teeth, right? And it's been hard to get to the point where she just does it or she even lets me do it. There were times where we had to hold her down because, like, obviously, you can't just let her have her teeth not brushed. And she is a very, very stubborn girl, okay? Once she decides on something, it is very hard to change her mind on that thing. So basically, long story short, brushing her teeth, very hard. Now she wants to do it herself. She's Miss Independent, but I'm still like trying to make sure she does it right, gets all her teeth. Sometimes I do it and then she does it, or vice versa. But it is hard to get her to let me brush her teeth still. So we're still fighting over the teeth brushing. And long story short, if you are an adult listening to this episode right now, with or without children, you are probably very grateful that your parents did force you to brush your teeth, right? If you have good teeth brushing habits now and like you still have teeth in your mouth, you can attribute that to your parents forcing you to brush your teeth, which is not always easy on you as the kid or on your parents because it's not easy to create a habit. Sometimes you're not going to want to do it. But the thing, again, comparing teeth brushing and fitness, the thing is, when you forget to brush your teeth one morning, you're like, oh my God. Maybe you're one of those crazy people who keeps like a bag with a toothbrush in your purse and you brush your teeth as soon as you get to work. Maybe you're not that crazy, you just pop some gum in your mouth, go on with your day, but you make sure you brush your teeth before you go to sleep, right? Either way, if you missed teeth brushing, your first thought is, oh my gosh, I need to brush my teeth. I'm going to need to do that as soon as I get home, as soon as I get to work, whatever. Maybe you go buy some gum, you go buy some mouthwash, you go about your day. But when people are trying to create a health and fitness routine, often they're like, oh my God, I missed a workout. I might as well never work out again. Which is so crazy because, like, you would never say that about brushing your teeth. You would never be like, oh my God, I forgot to brush my teeth this morning. I might as well just eat all the candy and let all my teeth fall out. No one says that. So why is it all always all or nothing with fitness? If you treat it like brushing your teeth, like something you just want to do every day for your oral health or, for your physical health, it becomes a lot easier, right? Because like I miss workouts often. Yesterday, I was tired, okay? Yesterday, I was going to go for a run and I didn't. But I have a rule that I must get at least 30 minutes of physical activity in a day. That is a rule for me. I was very tired. I didn't want to run. I also have a rule that I run twice a week. Okay? So I already plan to do my other run on Friday. And now I am also planning to run on Sunday or possibly Wednesday, but probably Sunday. And instead of running last night, since I was feeling kind of stiff, feeling kind of tired, I did 30 minutes of yoga. I still kept my habit of movement in. I listened to my body, but didn't completely go off the rails. I still got movement in. I still followed my, nutrition plan, still fueled my body, still ate well. And I just went on with my day because that's what you do when you have a solid habit. It's never all or nothing. It's, oh no, I missed it. Where can I fix this? Where can I add it in? Where can I make it up? What can I do right now? Maybe it's a snowstorm and you're really planning to go to a workout class tonight, but you're stuck in your house. There are so many things you can do in your house, like watch a free YouTube video, do a free YouTube yoga. That's all I did last night. Or, maybe you have a walking pad and you just want to walk for 30 minutes while watching a show. There are so many ways that you can get movement in and you can try to look for the answer instead of using it as an excuse. And back to the habit conversation. What you really want to do when you are starting a fitness journey is start with small, easy things that you know you can do. Because if you are currently living the complete opposite life of the person who has reached the goals you want to reach. So say, you want to lose 50 pounds and you want to start going to the gym. And right now you are not working out at all. You work a desk job, you drink on the weekends, you get takeout for lunch, you sometimes get takeout for supper or make something quick and easy, microwave dinners. You're living the complete opposite lifestyle as someone who wants to lose 50 pounds. The worst thing that you can do in that situation is decide you're going all in. Decide you're following a meal plan. Decide you're going to the gym 5 days a week. Decide you're, signing up for a boot camp. You're cutting out the pop and the coffee and you're only drinking water, or you're doing some kind of cleanse you found online. No, don't do that. Please do not do that because that is not going to last. You want to get there as quickly as possible when you're feeling motivated, so you decide you can do all the things, But then all that happens is you end up not doing all the things eventually. You're hard on yourself and you go right back to your old habits. Instead, try this. Do not go all in, okay? If you are the person who's doing the exact opposite of what you know you need to do, start small. Start with a few small habits that you can attain because, you also may have in the past tried to do the all or nothing thing. And for a lot of people that have done that, that have been, yo-yo dieters and fad dieters, once you do that a few times, you have a pattern of breaking your promises to yourself. And this is a really bad pattern to have because it's easier to stick to a pattern than it is to break it. So it is easier for you to start a diet and not finish it, not follow through, than it is to follow through. The more you break that pattern, that habit. Okay? So what you really want to do is start with small things, even as small as making your bed in the morning. If you don't already make your bed in the morning, I mean, but like if you say, this week, every day, I'm going to make my bed in the morning, and you follow through and you do that, you are starting to build that trust back up with yourself. You are starting to create a habit that makes you feel better about your space. And then when you get to the end of the week and you've made your bed every day, you feel accomplished. And then you can add another thing in. Inside my membership group, we're doing a powerless challenge right now, which means we've picked 5 small habits for each week. And some people have added making their bed into it. But the point of this is there are 5 easy things to do. Like, we're not starting with going to the gym every day. I'm encouraging everyone to not start with that because they are in charge of their own powerless. They create it. So they start with something attainable. Some people are on the second month of this challenge now and have, ramped things up a bit, but something like 10 minutes of movement. If your goal is 10 minutes of movement, that is very attainable, okay? And it's when you're sitting at home at the end of the day and you're like, I need to go to the gym, there is so many steps and so much time involved in getting to the gym and getting a workout done, right? Like you have to get all dressed and ready. You got to grab your gym bag, make sure everything's in there. Don't forget your headphones, make sure they're charged. Make sure you got gas to get there and home. Make sure, like, there are so many things to think about when going to the gym for a workout. Okay, if you have a goal of like 10 minutes of movement a day, and maybe you want to get to the gym once a week or twice a week to start, that is a good goal. Because if something comes up on Tuesday when you were supposed to go to the gym, or there's a snowstorm or whatever, you can look at the rest of your week, say, okay, I'm going Thursday already. I'm also going to go Saturday. I'm not going to go to the gym today, but I am still going to hold my word on this 10 minutes of movement. I'm going to go downstairs on my walking pad and I'm going to watch a show and I'm going to walk. Or I'm going to put on a 10-minute yoga video on the TV and I'm just going to do yoga. Like, you can do it at home in your pajamas. It is easy to do. It is harder to put off a 10-minute workout than it is to just get it over with, right? It is 10 minutes of your time. You can even pull up the yoga on your phone and put your favorite show on TV. You could stretch while you're watching your favorite show that you are already going to watch. You could just make something up on the spot while you're watching your favorite show. You could do jumping jacks and high knees. You can do planks. You can do push-ups, modified push-ups if you need to, right? Just move. It's an easy habit to do. And you can even start with 5 minutes. Whatever you think is small enough that you're going to be like, that is easy. I can get that done. Maybe you don't even start with going to the gym at all. Maybe your only goal right now is to get those 5, 10, 15 minutes of movement in each day, and that is okay. That is a great start because you know what? After 1 week, after 2 weeks, you are going to feel so amazing and so accomplished because you're sticking to your word and you're following through. It is not incredibly hard to do. It is not incredibly hard to find the time anymore. And then maybe on the third week, you say, you know what, I can do 20 minutes a day. And then you start doing 20. And then after, a month has passed, maybe you're like, I'm ready to go to the gym now. And you get a gym membership and you keep up with your 20 minutes a day every day. But 2 days a week, you go to the gym for an hour. Make it easy. Make it easy. Get a meal prep service if you need to. It is cheaper than takeout. And maybe after, a month or two of your meal prep service, you decide that, you know a good amount of recipes now from cooking them, and you're going to try to prep your own because it is cheaper to buy the groceries than it is to buy the meal prep service. And you start prepping because now you have solid recipes, you know you like them, you know they fit within your goals, and you add the nutrition aspect in. And then maybe after that, you just try to cut pop out of your life, or you try to cut your daily iced coffee out of your life, or modify it so it is better for you. There are a million small steps you can take, but the main thing that I want you to remember is the easier they are, the more sustainable they are, the more likely you are to stick to them. You do not want to go 0 to 100. It is not going to work. And if it's not going to last long term, there's no point of it. Because if you're just like 100% all in every day and then you're 100% all off, that is doing more harm than good. That is messing with your hormones. It's messing with your metabolism. It's setting you further back. It is making you make negative progress because you're impatient and you want the results now. So you're trying to go all in, but really it's making it take even longer. So be patient and set those small goals that will add up to the big goals eventually, that will add up to solid habits as solid as brushing your teeth, where you don't even think about it. You get the kids to bed, you say, all right, 20 minutes of movement right now. Maybe I go to the gym, maybe I do something at home, but I'm committed every day to doing these 20 minutes of movement. That is how you create sustainability in your life. That is how you hit your goals. I had one client that I worked with for 2 years, okay? And she couldn't work out when we started working together. She had chronic pain from an old injury, and she was told not to lift more than 10 pounds. So for the first 3 months of working together, all we did was walk. I gave her like 30-minute walks every day. That's all she did. She went for one 30-minute walk every day. She did have a treadmill at work, a gym at work. So, if the weather was bad, she did her walk there. Sometimes she did laps around her house. She walked up and down her hallway for half an hour because she was committed to getting it done. And eventually, the chronic pain got better because the more weight she lost, the easier it was for her to move. Eventually, we started saying, okay, you can lift 10 pounds. Let's get 5-pound dumbbells. Let's do what we can. And then after, she got comfortable lifting those, we ended up lifting much more than 10 pounds. And her body, while she still had pain from time to time, the pain was better. She actually improved her chronic pain. And, this winter, after losing 65 pounds, she was shoveling the driveway, which was something she never could have done. She was repainting her whole house, which again, something she never could have done. And it started with just walking, just a simple habit and starting to focus on her nutrition. Yes, it took her a year and a half to lose the 65 pounds. Yes, ideally, you want to lose it in less time. But listen, would you rather lose it a year and a half from now or never lose it? You might as well start doing the things that you know are going to last a lifetime instead of doing the quick fix fad diet that is not going to last. Because if you want to maintain your weight, you still have to keep those habits in place. Maintenance is easier than losing weight, for sure. You can definitely have more balance in your life, but the activity, like the daily movement, that's not going to change. If you want to keep the weight you lose off, you have to be active for life. Yes, you have more wiggle room with your food. Yes, you can eat more, but you have to keep those habits if you want to keep the weight off. So you might as well start finding ways you enjoy to move and making it a priority to just move in any way. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. I hope it was helpful. I hope you have an idea on how to get started towards your goals. As always, if you enjoyed this episode, please leave a 5-star rate and review. And if you want to join the Power List and join my membership community, the link is in the show notes. Bye.